going to hopefully finish this book today. Starts getting interesting. The next book I'm going to read is just as impressive as this one. I hope you all are enjoying it. I'm getting some really positive comments. It is life-changing. So, I will continue reading. No sooner had we reached the restaurant and were seated around the table than we heard the news. Yitzhak Rabin, I don't know the name, can't pronounce it, the president of Israel. So, there you go. I really pronounced somebody's name wrong there, so check it out, I pronounce names wrong. Had been assassinated. It was done by a Jew. At the announcement, bedlam broke out in the restaurant. People were hysterical, crying and shouting. Some grew silent, not knowing how to express their emotions. I could see it was a deeply moving experience for everyone. I was likewise moved and cried openly. The small group at my table zeroed in. Why? They asked. Do you know any processes which might give you solutions? I queried. Let's go to a place of planning, suggested one of the leaders who had organized the conference. After a little discussion, they agreed. We sat around the table in the restaurant and peacefully tuned in to Rabin at his full potential self. Then we invited the young man who had killed him to join them at his full potential in a place of planning. Why? They are best friends, explained one woman. They made a deal, said another. Then followed some of the most profound insights regarding peace dynamics I had ever heard. Rabin's life, was a peace mission. He wanted more than anything else to bring people into a state of peace. The signing of the peace accord was a peak experience, said another. He was singing the peace song when he died. He was with his supporters, softly, said another. Over 125,000 people were there to congratulate him on his accomplishments. Again, it was as if the participants had one mind and were speaking from one state of unified being. Most of his life was spent in fighting against the opposition, almost wept another. Now his blood is splattered on the peace song paper, observed another. He is an everlasting memory, a true hero of his people, declared one. The young man knew. He and Rabin agreed Rabin could do more good for the peace movement as a martyr. In this way, Rabin amplified the importance of peace 1,000 more times than anything he could have accomplished by living out his life, reported the coordinator. A peace settled down among us. It was like a blanket of understanding that covered us with its warmth. In that spirit, we left the restaurant, said our goodbyes, and retired for the evening. I was left with my own reflection on the life of Rabin and the meaning of peace. One thing that I always questioned in my life, like when I was trying to find scientific proof of the things that I could see, I really, really wanted to understand why kids are being abused. It's my biggest pet peeve. And if you look at the outcome, what does it create? What emotion does it create the most? Or it used to. And it was compassion. It was love. It brought out the best in who we are that said, this is wrong. And it seems now that that's been transformed into anger now. And our level of anger for it is only our example of how much love we have inside us. Love for something else. Hate because we hate that action and we know it's a wrong direction. And the only reason you can hate is because you are lacking what it is you love. So when you see a globe escalating in its level of hate, it means that we really truly want something better. But if we get caught up in our hate, we create war, we create more of everything we do hate. So it's like You can't get caught up in the hate. You got to just recognize the emotion, recognize this is something I don't want, and work towards something you do want. If we could shift our focus from the complaints of our hardships and actually built what it is that we wanted and found the support from each other to do it, we'd change the whole freaking planet. My mind took me through the entire history of Israel and its relationship with other nations. I could see in a panoramic pouring out of each character that had added to the story told by the Jews. The entire Bible, Quran, and Gita spread before me, and history grew in front of my eyes, expanding into every country and emerging through every culture. Each great personality and the dynamics of each social setting in which they play out their lives became so clear to me. I could feel the unfolding of a pattern so complex and yet so simple. It was pure yet unmentionable. It was both exciting and filled with meaning, as if history itself spoke in its own meaning. I found myself embraced by the entire scene of oneness. At the same time, I was immersed within an anthropological orchestration of the collective meaning of the human race. On the other hand, I was consumed by our constant struggles for enlightenment, the unfolding of each school of thought, each religion, and each discovery. Telephone. I'll have to continue.